The other thing, though, that I also want to do, I want to make it easy on her, but I also want to give her some motivation. So, the 3 gates of control: respect, safety, anticipation. These are receptive states. This is when people give control. For a woman, having sex with a guy initially is all about giving control. That's how it feels. That's gets into surrender, which is the 3rd dimension of embrace. We want to build our awareness of surrender. But a woman gives up control, surrender, okay? When she feels respect, safety, and anticipation. Anticipation of what? Of sexual pleasure. So I'm going to say maybe 1 or 2 things that indicate that when we hang out, I'm going to be focused on getting physical with her. But I'll say it in a, like not an aggressive, creepy way. Once we sort of set up a time to hang out, I'll say, I'm going to squeeze you as soon as I see you, so get ready. Or I'm going to give you a big squeeze as soon as I see you, so get ready. So I'm setting this physical precedent that I'm going to be putting my hands on her. I'm going to be, kind of taking control of her body, which she wants. That feels good to a woman. Okay, surrender, right? So I'm indicating that I'm going to do that. I've said other things, kind of more cutesy, more like light and playful things about, she maybe says something smart alecky on the texting. I'll say, that's it. I'm going to beat you up with kisses when I see you, that kind of thing. So I'm being dominant, but in a really playful way. So I'm communicating that basically what I'm communicating is that she's going to get some physical affection out of the meetup, and I found that's really effective because you got to think from a woman's perspective. Why would she meet up with this guy? She already has friends, family, probably stuff to do. She could sit at home and watch TV and probably be fine. Why would she meet up with a new guy? Sex. The motivation is sex. Women want sex. They're horny. They feel like you're going to be a guy who's timid, who's not going to at least make a move and try to move the interaction towards sex. And they might say, I'm a good girl, I'm not going to give it up, all these things that women say. They're just saying that to protect their value in your eyes, and they'll say it especially if they like you. They want to protect their value in your eyes so that you don't devalue them. You don't see them as not worth your time or as easy, right? So they'll say these things, but that's what they're saying, but what their body is feeling is different. They're horny, and they want to know that, not necessarily that they'll have sex with the guy, but they at least want that to be a possibility, that he's gonna be proactive about that, but obviously not doing it in a way that makes her feel pressured or scared. Okay, so that's all I'm doing there. And I can give, I can post up some screenshots or transcripts of text messages I've had with women that illustrate this. But that's all I'm doing with texting. I'm doing memory recall, making sure that my name is in her phone. Then I'm going sticks by learning about her lifestyle, and then as soon as I feel like, okay, pull the trigger, then I'm making a plan. And usually that's within a day or two of just back and forth texting. In terms of numbers of texts, it depends. Sometimes we're going back and forth, really talkative. It can get playful and fun. Sometimes it's a bit dry, short text messages. I don't read into either one of those. I don't read into a short text message she gives me and says, oh, she doesn't like me, I need to, game her now. It varies on the person. But I sort of let the woman kind of dictate how long the texts are and how much we're giving back and forth to each other. I won't do more than she's giving me. But having said that, if you look at the word count, sometimes my text might be a couple words longer. Don't think about that sort of thing. Just step back and look at the text. Okay, who's working harder here? You want it to be about equal. All right, it's okay if maybe it's you a little more. It's okay if it's her a little more. If it's a drastic difference, that's a problem. I want the meetup to be really easy. I want it to be logistically easy. I don't want it to be a big deal. I don't want her to feel like she has to put on like a whole little black dress, fancy outfit. Obviously she's going to look nice, but I don't want it to be a big deal. I want this to be a very easy thing. We can meet up, and there's an out too. So like if we're not having fun, if maybe she's not enjoying it, I'm not enjoying it, we can part ways. No big deal. It's not awkward. I want it to be relatively inexpensive, not just for me, but because I don't want her to feel like I'll be expecting something after I pay for this expensive dinner. I don't want to put pressure on her. And then some women will pay and want to contribute to the date and will spend money. And I don't want them to feel like, okay, we're going to this restaurant and then she's going to have to fork over a ton of money for her half or whatever. If she's the kind of girl that likes to do that, likes to, split it. What else? Oh, and then I'm just trying to include just a little bit of sexuality in a very light, pleasant, playful way. Maybe a little cutesy, but cute not in the sense of me supplicating to her, but rather me being very dominant, but in a fun, light way. So squeezing her, beating her up with kisses. There's other more sensual ways I can talk about it. One example, it works at a desk. Say do you get knots in your back? She might say, yeah, I do. I get my back starts to hurt after a while. And I say, I get the same thing. Well, maybe we can go, toe to toe and give each other we can have a back massage contest and see who can get the knots out fastest, So, it's just little playful things like that where I'm just indicating that we're going to have some physical contact. If I have an opportunity, I want to indicate that I won't be afraid to get physical with her, to put my hands on her, to give her affection. Could even be something as subtle as telling her, looking forward to seeing that pretty smile again. It's cute, it might sound a little nice guy-ish. If you did everything else, and then you hit her with that, what it's communicating is that there's a sexual, your interest is sexual. And there's all kinds calling her pretty girl, calling her a fox, that's the word I use. Other things I've said, maybe we'll be talking about, I'll be like, how was the rest of your night? She says, oh, it was pretty boring. I say, yeah, my night was cool. I wasn't expecting to meet a little fox like you. So, I'd say things like that really indicate yeah, we're talking as human beings, but I want to fuck you. I want to have sex with you. That's in my mind, and I'm not going to be timid about making a move in that direction. Okay?